Speaking of some of those, it's time to paint a picture and imagine that presented by Xfinity. We try to predict some of the chaos that will come this weekend. Joshua, why don't you go first?
I feel like you and I both were in this frame of mind of like, how much do we actually know about what we're seeing right now? And mine goes right into that. I'm saying Ohio State, Indiana, and Georgia, the three of the top 5 teams that are playing this weekend, all struggle through ugly wins. And it's going to be the last weekend before we get to the rankings release. And, you know, I think people are trying to poke holes in Ohio State and Indiana because they perceive that the schedule hasn't been good. And Georgia's already toting it now. And I'm curious if they kind of slog through some of these games over the next week or so, what do people have to say about these teams? Is this a chance where an A&M, who I believe is off this weekend, gets to jump all the way up to the top because they've got some big wins? They just had the win at LSU, the one at Notre Dame people continue to talk about, and it was a huge win for them. But I think these teams being maybe ugly but still winning would cast doubt about what we perceive them to be.
I'll also just say, I think the committee could put Texas A&M 1.
I think they could. They'd be justified.
Like, they would. So that is going to be one of the big questions for the first rankings as well. What I'm imagining is just total chaos. So not just like ugly wins. I'm saying
coastal
the ACC
chaos.
Yeah, coastal chaos, ACC chaos, coastal chaos lives on.
Yeah.
But now it's just league wide. So I'm going to say at least one of these things will happen. NC State will beat Georgia Tech, Cal will beat Virginia, or SMU will beat Miami, or multiple of those upsets happen.
Okay.
Listen,
okay.
I think for as amazing as the stories have been for Georgia Tech and for Virginia, these are teams that have had some shaky wins there. Like there has been some luck on their side, especially Virginia. My goodness, 3 overtime wins this season. Feels like it would be shocking and genuinely, like, I cannot envision a scenario where with all of the carnage we are seeing across the sport and within the ACC, that like the 2 teams that get to the championship game are undefeated in ACC play. Like it doesn't seem possible.
I agree.
Like Virginia actually has lost to NC State. It just was a non-conference game. So that's even crazier. So that
Explain
doesn't count as an
like that's one of those where it's gonna like you'll look back if they're able to make it in and they'll be like, oh, no conference losses, and you'll be like explaining it to your kids one day about like, yeah, this was the year when.
It's crazy. So my point is, I don't think that's going to happen because right now it would be super clean if that's how it happens. It's just Virginia versus Georgia Tech in the ACC champ game. I don't think we're going to do that. I think this week is prime upset territory in the ACC. So I'm calling it at least one of those.
It's a spooky weekend.
It is a spooky weekend. That was Imagine That presented by Xfinity.